Welcome back. This topic so nice, I'm going to teach it twice. I'm going to talk about the unit circle. Now, what's going to differ from the previous unit circle? Well, instead, I'm going to measure my angle in radians. And we've already defined what radians are, and maybe we should know, but I'm going to quickly go over this again. And by the way, I'm just going to look towards the top for my inspiration. And I'm going to talk about the special angles again in radians. So, and radians, by the way, is not degrees. It's an alternative measure of angles. It measures the arc length. And I know that some people have a difficult time with radians, and it's really just about practice. It's really about talking to people, and it's really about making mistakes. And so I find that this is a really great unit because people correct each other quite often or say, have you thought of it thinking about it this way? All right. What I'm going to do now is I am going to start off with the special angle family. And you've heard this before, but sometimes it's really nice to revisit a topic after your first introduction. I'm going to perhaps start counting off my angles. This is 0 or 2 pi. It's the full circumference of the circle, and if we're measuring arc length, this angle can also be considered 2 pi, and that would be 1 full revolution of the circle. Now over here, this angle would be called pi, half a revolution. And this is pi over 2. And at the bottom is 3 pi over 2. And we should be there. These are my angles. They are not the sine or cosine or the tangent. These are just strictly the angles. Now I'm going to work on identifying my angles. And I'm going to attempt to teach this in a different way. Recognize that this smallest angle is pi over 6. The medium special angle is pi over 4. And the highest special angle is pi over 3. If you're having a difficult time placing these angles, I can ask you a similar question and order these 5 fractions from smallest to greatest. Well, the smallest to greatest would be like this, right? 1/6, 1/4, 1/3. So we can say, oh, this is 1/6 of pi, that's 1/4 of pi, and that's 1/3. Hopefully we can all agree that your measurements increase, or your measurement of your angle increases as you go counterclockwise. So there I have it. I have the special angles here. Now, I said that I'm going to construct this in a completely different way, and normal years we spend about a couple of classes just kicking around the unit circle, but the xy coordinates of this point are 1, 0. They are the same exact as previous unit circle. Now up here, I'm going to call this, well, this is root 3 over 2, 1/2. Hope we agree. Here at my pi over 4 family is 1 over root 2, 1 over root 2. We've been over this, but I know it's not easy, right? It is not an easy game to get these coordinates, or perhaps it is. And these coordinates are going to be 1/2, root 3 over 2. So we can get the sine, cosine, and tangent of all of these values. We've done this before. I'm only going to focus on determining my angles. This angle up here, well, I start off with saying pi. I'm going to write pi as 3 pi over pi, or 3 pi over 3, which is just simply pi. 3 over 3, 1. So therefore, this has to be 2 pi over 3. How did I do that? Well, I can go 3 pi over 3 minus 1 pi over 3, and that gives me 2 pi over 3. Whereas this bottom angle is 4 pi over 3. Well, how did I get that? Well, 3 pi over 3 plus 1 pi over 3. 3 pi over 3 plus 1 pi over 3 is 4 pi over 3. This angle is going to be 5 pi over 3. Now, how did I get that? Perhaps I'm going to think of it differently. I'm going to go all the way around the circle. That's 6 pi over 3 minus 1 pi over 3. It's 5 pi over 3. Now, this angle over here, I'm going to figure this out. So I'm going to maybe think about pi in a different way. I'm going to think about pi as 4 pi over 4 now, and that'll give me a hand. Now, this is going to be 3 pi over 4. This will be 5 pi over 4. And the reason that is this is 4 pi over 4 minus 1 pi over 4. Angle in quadrant 3 is going to be 4 pi over 4 plus 1 pi over 4. Angle in the fourth quadrant is going to be 7 pi over 4. And the reason why that is I'm going to call this point not 2 pi, but 8 pi over 4. 8 over 4 is 2. 8 pi over 4 minus 1 pi over 4 leaves me with 7 pi over 4. Last but not least is the pi over 6 family. Now I'm going to think of this as 6 pi over 6. So this will be 5 pi over 6. This related angle in quadrant 3 is going to be 7 pi over 6, and this is 11 pi over 6. Using the exact same reasoning that I'm using before. 6 pi over 6 minus 1 pi over 6. 6 pi over 6 plus 1 pi over 6. 12 pi over 6 minus pi over 6. 11 pi over 6. And so that is the unit circle. And perhaps you're wondering, am I expected to do the unit circle for every question? No, but you probably should develop the skills to drawing the unit circle on an assessment so you can draw it once and then make all your determinations from this circle.